Hello everyone, welcome back to Minus to Millions. We're in the second day of July now and we've got £24,546 in the bank. And what we need to do today is work out what crop we're going to plant next on the field we just harvested. Because I'm not going to bale the straw as we won't make much from it and we'd end up losing money after the leasing cost of a baler. So let's check the crop calendar and see what we can plant at this time of year. Okay, there isn't much we can plant. We could do canola next month, but that won't be ready to harvest until July, so that's a very long growth time. I would have liked to have gone for potatoes or sugar beet, but they can only be planted in March and April, so we'll have to do a different crop for now and then do that after. We can plant poplar until August, so we could go for that, and it can be harvested all year round. So we should be able to harvest it before we can plant potatoes or sugar beet. If not, I could do grass or oilseed radish, but we've already got the grass area, so we don't really need to do that, and oilseed radish won't make us any money. So I think poplar is our best option, because if we can harvest it in time, then we'll be able to do potatoes or sugar beet next. So yeah, we'll go for poplar. And I'm not going to mulch this field, so I'll just cultivate it. But before we lease any equipment and start working on the field, there's a few things we need to do. The first thing I need to do is feed the chickens, because we haven't done that for a few days. And I'll put the pallet fork on the tractor to do that, because it will be easier to lift the bags of food using that. And we don't actually need this bow spike anymore, because we don't have any bows at the moment, so I'll return it when we lease a cultivator. And I'll just do it through the menu, because we're not going to be able to take it up to the shop as we've got a pallet of lettuce to take and sell, so I'll have to keep the pallet fork on the tractor. There should be quite a few eggs on the pallet now as well, so we'll check that while we're over at the chickens. Okay, the pallet of eggs is half full, so we should have a full pallet within the next couple of days. It has taken a while to get that many eggs, but as the chickens get older, they will start producing eggs quicker. So then we should be getting full pallets every few days, and we can start making some money off them. And we haven't actually made any money from the chickens yet, but we should get good money for the eggs when we sell them. Okay, the bag stopped unloading, so they didn't need much food at all. So I'll put this bag back over with the other ones, and then we can go and load up the pallet of lettuce to take to sell. And if I lease a cultivator before we head over to the sell point, then we can pick it up once we've sold the lettuce. We usually get around 500 for the lettuce, so that will help towards the cost of leasing a cultivator. I know we have got plenty of money at the moment to lease the equipment we need, but like I said before, I want to try and save as much as possible so we can buy more land. And I'm not sure how much we'll make from this poplar field, so I don't want to spend too much on equipment in case we lose money again. And losing money on our harvests is not ideal, so hopefully we can make a profit this time. Anyway, that's the lettuce loaded up, so now we need to lease a cultivator and return the bow spike. So this Rabe one is the smallest, but I think we'll go for a bit of a bigger one. And we've got 170 horsepower, so we can use the Amazon one as it requires 160 horsepower. And this has a 4-meter working width with a 9 mile per hour working speed. Or we could go for the Horsch one, which is a bit cheaper, and this requires 140 horsepower and has a 3-meter working width. But I think we'll get the Amazon one, as it's a bit bigger, so we can get the field cultivated quicker. I won't change the configurations on this either, so let's see how much it is to lease. Okay, it's £994, so let's lease this. And now we need to return the bow spike, because we won't be using it for a while. But if we do need it again, it's only around £30 to lease anyway. Now let's go and get this lettuce sold and pick up the cultivator. Okay, let's see how much we get for this. I might even change the greenhouse over to tomatoes soon, because we've been producing lettuce for a while. And we've done strawberries before, so tomatoes are the only thing we haven't done. So I'll change it to them when we get the next pallet of lettuce. And we got £465 for the lettuce, so we've earned back nearly half of what we spent on the cultivator, which is not too bad. And the cultivator is just here, So we'll get that connected and then we can head back and make a start on the field. And it shouldn't take us long to cultivate the field, as it's only small and we've got a good working width and speed with this. So let's get started. I probably should have mulched this field so we got an increase on the yield, but as we're doing poplar, I'm not sure how much we'll make from it. And we lost money on the oat in this field, so I didn't want to spend too much on equipment in case we lost money again. I will mulch this field next time though, because we'll be doing potatoes or sugar beet, and I'm sure we'll be able to make a profit from either one of them. So spending the extra money on leasing a mulcher won't matter when we do that. There is a lot of rocks being turned up on here, so we're going to need to pick them up before we can plant anything. And I'll do that today, because like I said, it's not going to take long to get this field cultivated. Also, if we pick the rocks up today, then we can plant the poplar tomorrow. I'm not sure how long it takes to grow, but I'm hoping it'll be ready to harvest in time for us to do potatoes or sugar beet on this field next. I think it should be, because they can be planted in March or April, so we've got around 8 or 9 months for them to grow. So it shouldn't take longer than that for the poplar to be ready to harvest, but we'll have to see. Our corn will be ready to harvest in a few months anyway, so hopefully we can make some money from that. And we should be able to make some more silage bales again soon, because the grass has already started growing back. So we'll be able to make some good money from them again, and if we can make a profit from the corn as well, then we shouldn't be too far off buying another piece of land. And we do really need more land as soon as possible, so we can begin to progress a lot more each episode with this Let's Play. Because at the moment it's very hard to make large amounts of money with what we have, so buying more animals than anything else is a struggle. But if I do what I said before and buy some land with lots of trees on, then we can cut them down and make planks, or just sell them, and that will make us plenty of money to start doing a lot more things. So we've got to make 85,000 for more land, and then we should be able to start making some good progress. And I don't know how long it's going to take us to make that amount of money, but hopefully it doesn't take too long. Anyway, let's get the rest of this field cultivated, and then we can move on to getting the rocks picked up. Okay, that's the field cultivated, so now we need to head over to the shop and get a stone picker to remove these rocks. So I'll return the cultivator, because we don't need that anymore, and then I'll lease a stone picker. And like I said earlier, if we get the stones removed today, then tomorrow we can begin planting the poplar. Okay, that's the cultivator returned, so now we need to lease a stone picker. If I remember rightly, it was around £1,000 to lease one last time. But let's see. So we have the smallest one, and that holds 2.3 cubic meters and has a 2 meter working width with a 9 mile per hour working speed. And then we have the bigger one, which is a lot more expensive. But we haven't got enough horsepower to use this one anyway. Even if we did, we'd only need the smaller one, because I doubt we'll even fill that up. So let's see how much it is to lease. Okay, it's 1,275. So it is expensive, but we have got to get rid of the rocks. So let's get the stone picker connected to the tractor, and then we can head over to the field and get the rocks removed. Okay, let's get this unfolded and make a start. And I'll go over the whole field to make sure that we remove all of the rocks. It might be a bit difficult to see where I've gone though, because the field's been cultivated, and you'll see there isn't a difference in the texture of the soil that I've gone over with the stone picker. But if I follow the tyre tracks on the field, then we should be okay. We should be able to sell the stones that we get from this field now as well, because the update to the map added stones to the sell point. So if we can sell them, we won't have to lose the stones like we usually do. I doubt we'll make much money from them, but still, whatever we make is better than nothing. And lining the stone picker up along here won't be hard, as there's some rocks, but when we come back down the field, I'll put the right tyre of the stone picker on the track that it's making in the field now. And when we come up the field this way, I'll put the left tyre on the track that it makes, and then we won't be missing any parts of the field. It shouldn't take us long to get this done either. It will take a bit longer than the cultivating did, because we've got a smaller working width with this. But at least doing this today means we can get the poplar planted tomorrow, and I'll probably get the first stage of fertiliser on before we begin sowing. And we've still got some fertiliser left on a pallet. I'm not sure how much is in there, but hopefully we have enough for this field. So yeah, we'll have to lease a spreader and a tree planter tomorrow to do what we need to. I don't think I'll roll this field either, because the amount it increases the yield bonus by, which is about 1 or 2%, it isn't really worth us spending extra money on leasing a roller for such a low increase on the yield. And on a small field like this, a 1 or 2% increase won't make much difference at all. So I think it's only worth doing on larger fields. So I'll just do the same on this field as we did the corn field. And we've got a good yield bonus on the corn field. I think it's about 90%. And if I do exactly the same with the poplar, we should get roughly the same yield bonus. Anyway, let's get the rest of the stones picked up, and then I'll go and see if we can sell them. Okay, that's all the rocks picked up, and we got 1,264 litres, so the stone picker is just over half full. So let's take them over to the sell point and see if we can sell them. Right, let's see if it will accept stones. Yeah, it does, so we don't have to lose any more stones now, so that's good. We only got £63 for them, so they aren't worth much at all, but as I said earlier, whatever we make from them is better than nothing. And all we've got left to do now is return the stone picker. And we got a good amount done today. We sold the lettuce, fed the chickens, cultivated the field and removed all the stones. So we're all set to begin sowing the field tomorrow. And that's the stone picker returned, so that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know by leaving a like, and feel free to subscribe so you never miss another video.